All right, I'm up for doing this one again. Why isn't Donald Trump being impeached yet? So, first, let's talk about impeachment. It's a two-part process. There are articles of impeachment that get filed in the House of Representatives and then are passed as though they're passing a bill. In the House of Representatives, it requires a simple majority, minimum of 218 votes. And so, if someone in the House of Representatives files articles of impeachment and it is passed by a minimum 218 members of the House, then the articles of impeachment have been passed. The articles of impeachment is analogous to an indictment that a grand jury would return, meaning like it details, the charges. Those are the articles of impeachment. So what happens after the articles of impeachment are filed in the House and passed by the House? Then it goes to the Senate, where the Senate holds a trial. And they call them House managers. There'll be a team of members of the House of Representatives and sometimes outside attorneys who will prosecute the case against the president on the floor of the Senate. And the Senate basically sits like a jury. And then the president gets to have his own defense team participate in that trial and provide a defense for him to the case that is presented by the House managers. And then at the end of that trial, the Senate votes whether to convict or acquit. And if they convict, then the president is then removed from office. But you have to have a minimum 2/3 vote of members of the Senate. So you have to have a minimum number of 67 senators vote in favor of convicting, in favor of removing that president from office. That's never happened before in the history of the country. So that's the process. Why has Trump not been impeached yet? Because Republicans control the House and the Senate. Democrats can introduce articles of impeachment every single day until January of 2027. They can do that every single day. Those articles of impeachment will never come up for a vote because the Speaker of the House is a Republican and he decides what bills get brought up for a vote. That's Mike Johnson, who, and you can Google this is true, and Matt Gaetz did this exact same thing. Mike Johnson acquired a black teenage boy several years ago. Didn't formally adopt him. Nobody's quite sure where he came from, but Mike Johnson acquired a black teenage boy. Former Florida representative and former candidate for Attorney General Matt Gaetz did the same thing. I'm telling you, you can Google it. It's true. So Democrats can introduce articles of impeachment every single day for the next 2 years. They will never be brought up for a vote. And even if they were, and even if it passed and it went to the Senate is controlled by Republicans too. So there won't be a trial. There will never be a trial because Republicans control the House of Representatives and the Senate. Donald Trump will never be impeached during the next 2 years, regardless of anything that he does.